I'm wondering if the match is still on the table. You versus Chris Jericho for the title of Living Legend.
Oh, the living legend type thing. God, you know what? Poor Jericho. I mean, he's getting too old now, and I hate to hurt the kid. But I think, yeah, once in a while, whatever I watch on TV, I record so I can DVR through the commercials. I never watch them. So, and I know Chris is at the AEW trying to get that off the ground. And Chris is very good, but he's been around like 25 years now.
30 now, in fact.
Yeah, but he hasn't called himself the living legend, so there's no need for me to go down there and stretch him. Carl Gotch. And I used to work out with this guy, John Foley from Wigan, England, the guy who taught Carl Gotch back in the 70s. They can hurt you, brother. they love.
I've never been there. I've been to Wigan once because I'm actually based in Manchester, so it's like 15 miles away from me. But I've never seen. Maybe I don't even know if it's still the Snake Pit's even there anymore.
I don't know either, but it used to be like if you came from Wigan, you were a biggin. That's what the saying was. But that was a place where you learned how to hurt people.
It churned out some stars.
Yeah,
that place.
Stars and tough bastards.
I mean, if we go back to the beginning, you got it from Bruno, who was the living legend, of course, and then you.
Yeah.
Did you ever actually beat him? In fact, I know I'm sort of going backwards here, but did you ever beat Bruno? Did you ever pin his shoulders to the mat?
Well, you know what? The thing that happened back then was I never really beat Bruno. I won sometimes on a DQ because he would go berserk, and try to kill me. In Shea Stadium, he walked out of the cage first, but he never really beat me. And he didn't really want to beat me because he wanted people to really keep hating me because I really hated me more than anybody thought, And after the matches, after the me and Bruno thing came to a head and he went back to, I would get people to hate me because I'd go on TV and I was 27-ish and I'd be going, I retired Bruno, I'm the new living legend, which obviously I looked like you, a kid. So it just made people, hate me more and I was more of a butthole. But because I used it so long, and then when I was doing the broadcasting on WCW in my 50s and 3 or 4 generations grew up listening to me, being called a living legend. Now that I'm getting older, I fit, I went into fitting the thing. When they started calling Jericho the living legend, because that was right after WCW ended. And the first thing that came in my mind was, this could be interesting because, I think me and Jericho could have a hell of a match. I just did the thing with Scott Hall and Bischoff and the New World Order a couple of years before. And I got a call from Jim Ross once that the WWE was interested in me voicing over on SmackDown. Jerry Lawler doing Raw, me doing SmackDown. And then this was the time the living legend, was being used by Chris. So I was, to make a long story short, I kind of wanted to work. I said, I'll do SmackDown, me and Chris and get in a big argument. And I think it'd be a great pay-per-view, but it didn't work out. And it was kind of because of Bruno too, they wanted Bruno to be there, but Bruno didn't want to be there. There was still some weird stuff. But so anyway, it just didn't work out, but it would have been a good idea. So finally I had a lawyer send him a letter and they quit using the living legend.
Did you actually trademark it?
Well, it's not trademarked in terms of a legal paperwork, but legally, according to the law, because I used it so long, in the public view.
Yeah, domain, yeah.
Yeah, public domain for 30 years, that legally, it's what I'm known by. I mean, if I called myself, the nature boy, Rick would probably have a good shot at making me shut up. Because that was his thing he made after Buddy Rogers.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Enough is enough!
Booty poo candy!
I had him writhing in pain from my sharpshooter.
Rocky!
I am not a nugget!
Stick him straight up your candy ass!
I kicked your leg out of your leg.
The Rock has come!